Now that we understand the basics of moving on a field, we have some drills to actually clean the marching technique. The first one is the 16th note breakdown exercise. Obviously, marching happens over the entire meter of a song. Meaning, if you have a 16th note passage, it's not just 1E and a 2E and a 3E. We actually want to maintain movement throughout all of the songs. So, the 16th note breakdown exercise very simply goes over every movement that you would have for each 16th note pulse of a beat. What you want to focus on, beat 1, you get that nice push, okay? Your toes are off the ground. It's nice, it's just a very simple first step. 1. On E, you simply roll through. So, looking at it, 1E. On and is a crossing count, no matter what. And, okay, nice bend here, okay. All of our weight is on our left leg. You put your leg through. Your weight is still on your left leg. Your upper body is not moved at all. 2, you push off that left leg, plant your heel, and you just repeat. Doing this drill fairly slowly. What I recommend is about quarter note equals 80, whereas each pulse gets a step. So, 1, E, and 2, E, and 3, E, and 4, E, and close. Obviously, while we're doing that, we don't really need to break down the close to a 16th note breakdown, because the close is just very simple. Close and step. There's no actual 16th note, since on the actual marching, 1E and actually goes in front. When you're closing, close, E, and there's nothing to do on You don't want to put your leg in front of it to bring it back for a close. So don't really be too hyper on cleaning the close when you're doing the 16th note breakdown. Going backwards, same thing. 1 is just the first step. Get the nice push. On E, all that really happens, you transition from having your weight centered to almost all of it on the left leg. You should be able to pick up your right leg and maintain pretty close to complete balance on the E count. So, 1, E, and. On and, all of your weight, again, is on the left leg. All that's different from this one going backwards to going forwards, 1E, and your foot's completely on the ground. Going backwards, 1E, and all of the weight right here on the ball of your feet. You don't want that heel to sink down. So, 1E and up. Again, try to maintain that nice lift. Just get the foot back. 2, just simply push off. Okay? So very simple. 1E and up. Okay? This exercise is very difficult going backwards. And if you do not have an experienced band, you do not want to try it. It requires a lot of effort and is very hard on the calves. Since doing the 16th note breakdown is so hard going backwards on the calves, one thing you might want to do is do the 8th note breakdown just going backwards to start out with. The 8th note breakdown exercise is actually designed to get them moving a little quicker once they understand the full complexity of the 16th one. I'm going to start demonstrating this one backwards though. If you elect not to do the 16th note breakdown with your band going backwards, the 8th note breakdown still does give you a nice breakdown of the technique, but it's much easier. For all this, it's just very simple. 1 is the first step, and 2, and 3, and 4, and close. It doesn't really get more complicated than that. It is just the 8th note breakdown. I personally recommend doing this one instead of the 16th note breakdown going backwards. I also recommend it going forward. Once your band masters the art of 1 E and 2 E and 3, they'll be ready to just simply move on with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and close. Okay? It's just very simple. From this one, you can get really picky on the close, since it's just the 8th note. 1 and 2 and 3 and tendu and close. It's very simple. So from this one, you get to really clean some of the finer aspects, but it's much more broad, like actual marching. The 16th note really gets them used to moving throughout the entire counts. This one gets them much more closer to actual marching, just step for step. It just simply cleans the crossing counts while you're working on it. Now that you have the drills to actually clean the technique, you'll also want some drills to actually clean the actual on-field marching. The most simplistic of these drills is the 16 and 8 exercise. The name says it all. It's 16 steps forward, 8 steps backwards. Very simple. Make sure they stay at the proper attention, get a good push for that first step, but then it's just going to be very simple. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way until 16, then make sure they get a good prep step, okay? The direction change from 16 to 1 is very important. There's no movement, okay? It's just very simple. 15, 16, 1. Because you'll notice the direction change going from forward to backwards looks exactly like step 1. So the direction change that you'll need to clean is 15, 16, 1, 2. That is the only difficult part of this exercise. Once you clean that, your forward to back transitions will be fine, and your marchers will get used to using some authentic marching on the field. The next set of drills we're going to talk about are the box drills. These can be done a whole multitude of ways. You can have forward, slide, either to the right or left, and a forward or backward slide, backward direction change, and then back to the starting position, again, either with a forward or backward slide. It really just calls for whatever you feel like. The drill I'm going to start out with is the box drill, left slide, forward slide. It starts out just very simple, 8 count increments. You start out just 8 steps forward. On 8, make sure they get that nice tendu, okay? Again, halting momentum, same direction change we always do. Nice step to the left. While they're here, you want to make sure their shoulders are facing forward. Again, here, nice little tendu, plant, re-step. Just simple 8 steps to the backwards. 7, 8. Now, here comes the fun part. I'm doing the forward box. There are some situations where you could have them do a backward slide into this so that they get used to the same feeling. I'm doing a forward one so that they get used to having their shoulders to the front while their feet are to the left, and while their feet are to the right, because it is a different sensation. So from here, just 8 steps over. Tendu. Now this one needs to be at an angle because we are about to do our halt. So have this one be at an angle, and you just place the left leg. Again, this drill could be done either way. You could take the 8 steps forward and start with a backward slide. You could do any slide to the right, forward, backwards. It's really what you call for. The box drill is a very versatile drill. It really contains about 8 different things that you could do to help clean your ensemble. The last drill I'm going to teach you is possibly the most beneficial drill for your ensemble. It's the circle drill. This works every transition, every slide angle, just absolutely everything you could ask your ensemble to work on. Many of DCI's top 12 corps do this solely for their basics block. You start out in a circle. Now this drill is usually done in 16 count increments. For the sake of time and space, I'm only going to do 8 count increments. Starts out nice, easy, simple backwards break. Once you get backwards, you need to make sure you do the halt or the transition, same way we always do. Up on the platforms, nice lift. The next transition is an 8 count of forward increment. Okay? Obviously, I'm right here at my tendu. I'm getting ready to make another direction change. This one is just going to be another backwards one. So 1. Okay, you notice for this one, I've actually prepped my tendu to go that way. This is important. You are going to then follow the path of the circle. You want to maintain your shoulders facing to the inside. Some of the problems you're going to have. You're going to have kids that start off on a diagonal path, which will completely make the form obscure. You're going to have some kids that just start marching straight at a slide, which is, again, it's not the circle. It's not what we're going for here. So I go ahead and throw in the prep here so that I'm ready to just follow along the path of the circle. I find that the prep really helps out. You're then just going to very simply follow along the circle. Now notice for every step, I'm cranking my upper body a little bit more. Okay? Your shoulders need to face the inside. Just like how whenever we're doing a full-on slide, our shoulders are here. We don't want to get this, we don't want to get this. Just nice, big shoulders. So I've taken my 8 steps here. I'm then going to do the same thing going backwards, getting used to backward slide. Notice, again, my shoulders are following right along. And then, just 8 steps, right into the center, nice close, nice halt. The thing that's really beneficial about the circle drill and both the box drill, since they end in the spot where you start, you can do both of these exercises continuously, which allows you to get more of a feel for how your ensemble can march over a 5-minute span versus a 30-second drill. In conclusion, it's my hope that this presentation has helped you further your knowledge in the visual arts and will help your ensemble take that next step to become a true champion.